Hello. Join me as I take the clock back to 2007, a time less known for, but falling onto the release of the greatest PS3 game to ever be made, Folklore. Our main protagonist, Ellen Reed, a soft-spoken university student, raised an orphan after losing her parents. She seeks answers to her unknown childhood, and Keats, the skeptical investigative journalist, he arrives chasing the story. His true nature ties deeply into the plot. Both of our protagonists, which you play throughout the game, are drawn towards the rocky seaside village of Doolin, Ireland, around the festival of Samhain. Ellen receives a mysterious letter, supposedly her long-dead mother Ingrid, urging her to come to Doolin. At the same time, Keats, the cynical journalist for the struggling occult magazine known as Unknown Realms, gets a panic phone call from a woman claiming Freys are about to kill her. They arrive, briefly meet, and witness a woman fall from the cliff of a sea. As the night falls, this dark, mysterious village shows its true colours. With the dip of the sun rose the netherworld, a realm where dead and mythological creatures called folks rule and walk amongst. They found that they have gained unfamiliar abilities in this new realm of which they found themselves in. Ellen, guided by the half-life scarecrow and allies with the Frey King, who claims he will restore his netherworld's core. And Keats is guided by the half-life Belg and sides with the rebel leader Levain. Both stories are told parallel across 7 themed realms of the netherworld, while murders all the while are occurring in the real land of Doolin on the day. The plot, deeply involved in the 17-year-old tragedy, Ellen's true past. She was known as Cecilia as a child. A blood transfusion and a death involving a childhood friend named Herve. And possession by Freys. There's a large conflict between whether or not the netherworld and the human world should be combined or remain separate, which you explore the nuances of the morality in this decision throughout the game. The stories converge for a final confrontation. Involving corrupted malice, personal revelations about both protagonists, and decisions about the fate of the two worlds. Now, let's talk about this game. With very deep inspiration from Irish and Celtic folklore and mythology, Folklore, when released in 2007, was met with increased anticipation for its release due to the names of which were behind this game. At the time, Games Republic, the Tokyo studio, founded by Yoshiki Okamoto after leaving Capcom, executive director and producer, industry veteran. He was worked in Street Fighter 2, Resident Evil, Omishira, and Devil May Cry. The games seem to be heavily talked about within the gaming community, for there had not been this style of game made for such culture previously. With such a deep storytelling throughout the entire game. When released, the game was well received and acclaimed for its world building and its character designs, as well as the game design. The game was full of interesting, engaging features, things that had never really been seen in gaming before, capturing folks via 6-axis motion controls across a real-world Irish village. But unfortunately, this is where the story of this game comes to a close. After the release of the game, while the fans praised and applauded the release, and the game sold well, doing 320,000 units, that unfortunately was not up to standard. When pitched twice, Yoshiki Okamoto's Game Republic was denied a full PSP sequel and later a digital only title. Sony showed interest in both, but ultimately were rejected due to the game's perceived underwhelming commercial performance. The pitch for the PlayStation Move controller came very close, but it failed internal review by a very narrow margin. Yoshiki Okamoto publicly confirmed in late 2008, early 2009 in an interview that no sequel was in development and that the PSP discussions had ended, expressing sadness about it. The studio headed by Yoshiki Okamoto, Games Republic, and the main developer responsible for Folklore, later fell on financial troubles due to debt, closed, vacated its premises, made redundant its staff, and in 2026 has commenced for bankruptcy. As of today, Game Republic is effectively non-existent, with most original developers having only notably gone to Tango Gameworks. Yoshiki Okamoto the key figure in this game, left around its original collapse, announced his shift away from console gaming, and since 2017 has been supporting Japan's game culture and a foundation designed to help young people pursue their long-term careers in game development. The game still remains very talked about to this day, and in 2026, when most games are being released to negative receptions, poor sales, and being released by completely uninspired developers, more than ever, we need games like this to come back. And that's it. Until the next one.